But that gives you a little bit of a perspective of how deep the pond's going to be when we get done, when it does get full. So I told Houston the other night when we picked it up, I said, you're going to have to come up with a name for this thing. And I said, why don't we call it the Quacker Whacker?
Yeah.
We haven't killed any ducks out of it yet, but I think we could call it the Quacker Whacker.
Yeah, I like it.
21 mile an hour. We hit 22. If I was a duck, where would I be hiding at? Well, what's up, guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and here we are, mid-November, short sleeve and shorts because it's about 85 degrees outside. But do you remember just a few weeks ago, I was over on my neighbor's place and brought a pump and said, well, we're going to drain the pond. Well, we did. And it looks a lot different already. So yeah, I have not videoed the entire process of not building this pond, but rebuilding this pond. And I brought you along for a few bits and pieces here and there, and just kind of showing you the process and our game plan and what we're doing. And we are almost completely finished with this pond. It doesn't lack much. We got some cleanup to do. Most of the inside of the pond is done. It's crazy to think. It's been a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. He has spent probably close to 20 hours on the dozer, and I've been over here probably 15 or 20 hours combined between draining the pond, cleaning out, the edges with the excavator, trying to get it dry, and then over here with the skid steer, moving dirt and stuff. And he's still got a few more hours of work, and so do I. But the main portion of the pond is pretty much complete, which is good because I've already got a phone call from Tyler at Arkansas Pond Stalkers wanting to know exactly what kind of fish we're going to put in this pond. Well, Tyler, before we can put fish in there, we need water. So it's kind of hard to get a perspective, but the original pond bank was over here. You can kind of see where it was still in some places where it starts to drop off. We'll do some more cleaning over here and some grading. We had a lot more dirt than we planned on, so there's kind of a high hump right there, but we've got two main areas that feed water into this pond, and that's not going to block it. And there's a lot of extra dirt that still needs to be spread over the backside of the dam here. We're kind of limited. We can't put a bunch of dirt over the backside of the dam there because we don't want to kill those trees. So we've got some space where he's at over there and some space over here that won't affect the drainage at all, and kind of make it to where it can hold the most water possible, I guess you'd say. So just for a little bit of perspective, that stump right there we left, that was basically the original water line. The top of that stump stuck out of the water for the most part. It might have gone underwater when the pond was really full, a foot and a half, something like that. There's my side-by-side, and where he's working over here is where the spillway is. So let me back up just a little bit. We went down quite a bit deeper. Everywhere where you can see where there's red clay is down to original pond bottom, and got past all the muck. So you can see like that is still black muck around it. And even over here, there's some areas where it's still black dirt. It's not really muck anymore, but we didn't go down quite as deep, didn't move as much. But that gives you a little bit of a perspective of how deep the pond's going to be when we get done, when it does get full. So I would say that side by side's probably easily 7 feet tall, and you can kind of tell where he's at. He's below water level. The bottom of his dozer right now is below water level for sure, but we may have some areas in here that are over 10 feet deep. Oh, and also, I was a little fun fact. I found a website from a friend the other day. Kind of told me about some historical aerial photographs, like we can do Google Earth images now. Well, there's a website where you can look at historical aerial images. It wasn't Google Earth back then, but you can go from anywhere from recent history back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way back into the 30s. And this pond, now once you get into those older years, it skips sometimes 10 years between photographs. But we could see this pond on a map from an aerial photograph in 1956. Now the next photograph after that was in the 30s. So it wasn't there in the 30s, but it was here in 1956 or prior. So this pond, I mean, you're talking, could be 75 years old. Our lake that's just about 3 miles away was built in 62, 63, I believe, something like that. So it's older than our lake. This little pond has been here a long time. That looks a little bit different than the last time you saw him out here on that dozer when he was driving through here and mud was plumb up over the top of the tracks and it was just nasty muddy mess. So he did all of his cleaning down in the pond that he could, and what he would do is he would work for about half a day, and then I'd have to come in behind him with the skid steer and scoop. So I was scooping and piling all the mud piles around there, all of this, basically just to get that black gumbo goo nasty mud out of there, and then he could actually do some dirt work. So he's able to do some real pushing of real dirt right now. All of this that I hauled up here with the skid steer, you can see it's still pretty soft. So he's taking some good hard soil from out in the pond and bringing it up here and kind of mixing it in so we can have a solid base up here. Basically trying to widen out the top of the dam. So those pecan trees are the ones we can't keep pushing dirt over them, because raising the soil level up on the trunk of the tree will eventually kill it. And we want to try to save those pecan trees as best we can, but we're just trying everything we can to make it look clean and neat and finished, even though we got about 5 times more dirt on the backside of the dam than what we really needed. But he's doing a good job. Thing's loud, so you can kind of tell there's a whole mound of dirt sitting out there. We just had to have somewhere to go with some of this stuff, so it's kind of built up higher, like I said earlier, over there. But this pond is going to sort of be boomerang shaped around that, so water will flow in off of that entire hay field over there coming in, all of this field, and some of this area drains in. This pond doesn't have the largest drainage area, but it does catch quite a bit of water. But I think once we get that cleaned up and leveled out, you know, your water line's going to run somewhere along like this and then circle around. It'll be a cool spot for kids to come out and fish. They'll be able to fish all around, almost like a peninsula there. So this guy making all kinds of racket. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. Ain't got no gas in it.
No gas in it.
Kelsey, go put some diesel in that thing. Well, that looked like a good spot to stop for a minute. All right, next day, next project. Thought we were gonna do a full-on pond video there. Ran out of diesel, and it didn't have any diesel in his tank in his pickup, so he's gonna come back today and finish up, or I don't know, finish up. He's gonna come back today and work for a few more hours later. But it's Saturday morning. DJ and I did our live streams yesterday on Facebook and YouTube for our Christmas launch with all the pecans and all of our merch and all the annual Christmas stuff. The sandbar pecans, we had 500 packages and they sold out in less than an hour. The white chocolate and milk chocolate, we had about 1,000 packages of each, and they sold out by about 5 o'clock. We really, truly do appreciate everything that you guys do to support us. And we will be restocking all of the pecans as soon as possible. We still don't have the regular plain pecans in yet. We're hoping within the next week. So bear with us, stick with us. There's still a lot of other stuff on our website. Coffee cups and mugs and hats and hoodies and shirts and all the typical Christmas merch stuff. But everybody's missing out on buying chocolate and regular and sandbar and all the different types of pecans. And now we've had, probably 50 emails wanting to know why we don't have them on the website. And that's why. The Buchanan family is working as hard as they can to get us product as fast as they can. So it will be back on our website on armsfamilyhomestead.com soon. I'll let you know when they do. I'm sorry, guys. So we've probably got 1,000 orders to fulfill over the next few days. DJ and her mom and friends will all be busy for days on end, and I'll kind of be the middleman that just runs all the packages back and forth to the post office and keeps them situated and going, and I kind of try to stay out of the way. But I've got something else today. I say Houston has something else. It is like 85 degrees. We're not deer hunting today. It's just going to be hot and windy, and it's just not going to be a good deer hunting day. So we've got other plans, but I've told you guys, Houston's totally infatuated with duck hunting right now. Totally ate up with he's chomping at the bit. We just don't have many ducks here yet, but we have a plan to improve our duck season. Hopefully, we are entry-level learning duck hunters at best, but wait till you see what we got. You ready to show them what you got?
Yeah.
This might be a game changer, not only for duck season,
but for the pond.
But for the pond too, right?
Yeah.
All right. What in the world? Another boat?
Let's just say I talked you into it.
So it's a little G3 1652. So it's basically it's actually a 17-foot long boat. 16 is what it's classified as, but really it's 17. Anyways, nothing flashy, nothing fancy. A little Yamaha 20 horsepower tiller steer, bare bones, not a whole lot to it.
Already has leaves in it.
It's already got some leaves in it. It's just that time of year. It's got a trolling motor on it, got some lights on the front. Hey, this is a Facebook Marketplace special.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2013 model. And the previous owner that we bought it from had it rigged up for bow fishing. He had some lights mounted on it and did some different things. And we think this will be the perfect pond fishing boat. Like Houston's gonna probably want to put some sea deck foam up here like there is down here, because this will get really hot. But since our mini pontoon boat got destroyed, we kicked around the idea of buying another one. But Houston wanted something that we could actually get on the lake and do some duck hunting with. So.
And I think, honestly, I think this is literally going to be a perfect fit for both of these things, because it's got a very nice amount of motor for the lake, especially for duck hunting, I feel like it's pretty nice. But especially for the pond, this is definitely going to be nice.
That's right. We don't want to take the big bass boat with all the fancy carpet and all the pretty glitter and all that to the pond all the time. And we don't want to duck hunt out of it because duck hunting's a muddy, wet, nasty mess.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect entry-level duck hunting boat / bass fishing boat for the pond.
Yeah.
And it says bow fishing on the side. I'm gonna guess they took some of their stickers off because it just says bow fishing. But we're gonna take it to the lake and try it out. Our local lake is public hunting area. You can duck hunt, you can deer hunt around the lake. Houston's even got some big ideas of maybe getting after some hidden access public land deer hunting that nobody can get to unless they have a boat. So now we're just gonna be bow fishing. Not bow fishing.
Yeah. Boat fishing.
Bow fishing. So, we're going to haul this thing over to the lake with the Can-Am because we have a boat ramp that we can get this thing in about a mile from our house. Street legal, tagged, everything. And we might grab a fishing pole and see if we can catch a crappie while we're over there or something. Test out the boat, see how it runs, test out the trolling motor because, hey, we've never even tested it. We've never even put it in the water.
We haven't started the motor either, so.
I hope it cranks, right?
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace will get you, man. I got a pretty good deal on it, and I think we can make a lot of content with this thing. All right, Captain. You're in charge. Your boat, your ship. Where are we going?
Yonder.
Yonder, huh?
Yeah.
Old 20 horsepower Yamaha.
Yep.
Yamaha.
Yamaha.
All right. You're gonna want to go out and around. It's pretty shallow on that point over there. So we did duck hunt this area last year, but without having a boat, you kind of get stuck with all the people, right?
Yeah.
So you may be sitting over there duck hunting, and another group's over here, and another group's over there. So this year we'll have access, at least on those days we want to hunt the lake. We can get out and get half a mile away from all the people, and who knows? Maybe actually kill like 3 or 4 ducks.
Yeah.
Not 0.
Yeah.
So this little boat, it's a G3, as I said, which is exactly the same brand as our bass boat in Houston.
Yeah.
And it's got a Yamaha, just like the bass boat. Bass boat's a little newer, a little nicer, a little bigger, a lot more power. But it came with a Minn Kota trolling motor. It's made for a pontoon, actually, but who cares? It's a 54-pound thrust Minn Kota trolling motor. 3 LED lights on the front. I told Houston the other night when we picked it up, I said, you're going to have to come up with a name for this thing. And I said, why don't we call it the Quacker Whacker?
Yeah.
We haven't killed any ducks out of it yet, but I think we could call it the Quacker Whacker.
Yeah, I like it.
So here's my thoughts. We can duck hunt in the wintertime out of it, but this is also a great little catfish boat. We can run jug lines, limb lines, get way up in the creeks, do a lot of things that the bass boat can't do, or that we don't want to do in the bass boat.
Yeah.
You can run jugs out of a bass boat. There's nothing wrong with that, but catfish slime and worm guts and, you know, things we don't want on that pretty bass boat. we can do on this boat. And then in the summertime, spring, summer, and fall, it'll probably live on our bass pond.
Yeah.
But let us know. What do you think? You got any better name suggestions? It's a boat that we're going to use on the pond, that we're going to use on the lake for duck hunting, that we may do, I don't know, we may do some bow fishing off of it here and there. I'm not real high in bow fishing. We had a bow fishing boat for years and did some, but not a lot. I know LFG, Lake Fork guy on YouTube, bought it. He's a big time bass fisherman. Bought a boat similar to this a couple of years ago. He called it the Crispy Collector.
Crispy Collector.
Yeah, that name's already taken, so I like the Quacker Whacker. That little Yamaha just purrs along, just purring like a kitten.
Yeah.
Let's see what she got. Trim that nose down. Kind of thought we'd come out here today and there wouldn't be anybody on the water. There's bass boats everywhere. There's a pontoon boat, and there's even a guy out here on a wakeboarding. I bet the water's 55 degrees. It is ice cold, and there is a wakeboarder. I can see him right now. He's way across the lake, but I'm not wakeboarding. I'm not surfing.
I'm not touching that water with my whole body in it.
The only way we're getting in that water is wearing a pair of waders now.
Yeah.
21 mile an hour. We hit 22. If I was a duck, where would I be hiding at? Crazy. All right, we're right up here. We're gonna do a little deer scouting. I'm looking at some stuff on Onyx. Go to the right. Oh, or not. That's okay. Ain't gonna hurt anything in this boat. So all of this land is public hunting area, and nobody has access to it unless they have a boat. So there's.
Or they walk an extremely long way.
Well, yeah, they'd have to walk a mile back in here or more from the nearest road. So we're gonna do a little scouting adventure and just see what we can find. See if we can find some deer signs, some rubs, some acorn flats some oak flats where they might be dropping acorns and deer eating. We'll see. Okay, hang on, let me pull this boat a little further. Yeah, that's old. That's not this year probably. A couple rubs from last year, but you could definitely see a trail up on this ridge top. Oh, we'll keep looking.
Oh, and a scrape.
Yep. And a rub right there and a scrape.
2 for 1.
Nice thick stuff. Got to find a food source though, because you get back in here, there's an old rub on that tree. There's one on that tree.
Yeah.
Bucks are in here.
This is definitely a trail though. They're coming right through here.
But being on public land, there's not really there's no food plots, no feeders, nothing like that. So we got to figure out.
Got a pattern.
Yep. And why they'd be going through a certain direction, certain area. You know, if we come in here during rifle season and just sit down next to a tree, you might sit for 3 hours and not see 2 deer.
Yeah.
But you might catch a big mature buck on a doe that nobody's hunting.
Yeah.
You never know. About stepped on a rabbit. Where's he at? Here he is. I about stepped on him. He jumped up underneath me. Oh man, perfect spot to get a little bit of visibility.
I think I found their bedding.
Oh yeah? It'd be a perfect spot to sit. Cedars are growing up in here. Tuck up in one of these trees and overlook this little draw. Wouldn't be bad at all. You can tell the park burned all this a few years ago. There's some dead cedar standing, but it's starting to grow up again.
Yeah.
But it'd be perfect to tuck back up in one of these trees, you know, and just overlook it and see what comes through in the evening. You never know. Might catch a big buck cruising. Well, made it back to our boat. I'm telling you, there's a lot of good duck hunting spots right here. And just stumbled on a dead deer, obviously from a couple years ago. But right where we parked the boat, where's that rub at? Yeah, there's a deer rub right there. So that's lots of good activity, lots of good promising sign. I don't know that we'll hunt over here anytime soon, because we do have other deer at home that we want to hunt.
I don't know if y'all watched the last video, but that should
I can show it.
Oh, you didn't?
I ain't showing that deer.
Oh.
I ain't showing that deer off until he's dead. I don't kiss and tell. I don't tell everybody what we got. All right, cool. Whacker quacker.
That was actually better than I thought it might go.
Yeah.
Found a possible really good spot for open area, and on top of probably couldn't see a whole lot from camera, but we came around a bunch of rubs, a few scrapes, and then we came around that big open spot, and then go farther down and there's a hill. Guess you would call it a pinch point. It was wide open and low by the lake for pretty good ways, 50, maybe 100 yards. And then you come around to the left of it, and there was a lot of buck activity down there.
Yep.
So.
All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Go do something else. Find something else. Well, we found a whole flock of coots. They're not exactly a desirable species to get out here and hunt. They are legal to hunt, but they're kind of a trash bird, I guess you'd say. There's always a big flock of them on this lake, though. There they go.
Oh, holy. That's funny. They're just running on the water.
They're walking on water, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can find some ducks like that eventually.
Yeah. Watch out, look at you.
If that ain't a duck spot, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Good shallow backwater. The lake's a little bit low right now, so it normally would be, I don't know, maybe a foot higher. Most of that little island would be underwater, but I bet we do some duck hunting back in here this year.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Right here. It's a woody. Nope, barely seen him on, oh, nope, it's not either.
It's a,
It's a duck.
it's a, ringneck.
Ringneck?
Yeah, I think that was a ringneck.
Did you say a ringneck? Sound like it's a ringneck. Well, Crappie aren't biting. Found a few deer rubs. Found a few places that looked promising to deer hunt, and we thought, well, we'll give the crappie a dangle. Mr. Bass Fisherman's not interested in crappie fishing again.
No. Can I see that video? Because that might have been a cinnamon.
Like that.
So, I just asked ChatGPT what duck that was, and I told Dad it was either a cinnamon teal or a ringneck.
Yeah.
And you know what ChatGPT said?
That it was a duck in flight.
It was a ringneck. So.
Possibly a ringneck duck.
It had a.
Hey, I'm horrible at identifying ducks in flight. If you can do it, you're better than me because my eyes aren't that great.
That's
Somebody
good.
shot me in the eye one time with a Nerf dart, and my eyes are not as good as they used to be.
See, I don't understand why he did that. That was really rude and not needed for that. But he also didn't know because he was like 4 years old, and you were the one who gave him a Nerf
He's
gun.
probably jealous because I was cooler than him or something.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to be the first person to catch a fish out of your boat. I don't care what species it is.
That's okay, because I'll be the first person to kill a duck out of it. And
It'd
crappie.
be cool if you had a duck blind on the boat.
Yeah.
If you had a boat
So, that's what we've talked about, because we saw a boat that had one, and it's like a, I don't know, almost like a tent that folds down right here, and then it has like mesh, and it just flips over to like right over here, and then you can just sit right here, and you can see them fly over. I don't know. That's just an idea, though.
Just an idea.
Not
Okay.
not saying
Let's go
that.
up the creek and look for some ducks.
Okay.
It's a duck. One duck.
It looked like the last one, but I don't think that was green. Maybe it was a female. Yeah, it was probably a female right there.
Well, so far we've only seen, what, 2 ducks? One up in the creek. But that's really not that surprising. It's middle of the day. Early morning and late in the evening, the ducks spend a lot of time on the lake. Throughout the day, they take off and go hit ponds and fields and things where they can feed. So it's not unusual, but we're really just scouting places we can hunt.
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
Smooth operator. You push your front end around just a little bit. Other than that, you nailed it.
Huh?
Come on. Boom. Nailed it. Good to go. Alrighty. I would say first trip was a success.
Very much.
You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're going to limit out on ducks every time we hunt off this boat, right?
That's not possible.
There's got to be ducks to be able to do that, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm recovered. I didn't shoot an outro yesterday because I was pretty exhausted by the time we got home. We did a lot of walking. Houston and I covered some ground in some rough country. We didn't video at all, but I think this little boat has a lot of potential for us, and I know we already have a bass boat. We had a boat similar to this before. It was a lot bigger, a little more well set up for bow fishing, but we traded up to get the bass boat. So now why are we back in a flat bottom John boat? This thing's cool. I'm pretty pumped about this. I mean, Houston's very excited. I'm kind of playing this as really Houston's boat, okay? This was really his idea. He wants to do more duck hunting. He wants to do some, public land deer hunting that can only be accessed by boat, different things. And I want to show my kids. I want to give my kids opportunities to experience different things and do different things. And this is one of those things like even bass fishing on the pond. This will be perfect for the pond. Now, it's not something we can leave tied up to the dock 24/7 like we could the mini pontoon boat. I really like having the mini pontoon boat that we had on the pond because you could just leave it on the water, tie it up, and it would never sink. This one, you tie it up to the dock. If it rains, it's going to fill full of water. So that's kind of an issue there. But as far as just getting on the water and actually doing some bass fishing, once we have bass in the pond and catchable, fishable numbers, this thing's going to be incredible. I really don't even need the gas engine on the rear, on the back, for bass fishing on the pond, but having a foot controlled trolling motor where he can actually do real bass fishing just like we do on the big boat, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for it for us. And anything I can do personally to get to spend more time in the outdoors with my kids is worth it. A little cheapo 12, 13-year-old John boat, money well spent in my opinion. Even our experience yesterday, I had such a good time out there, and I can't wait to do more catfishing adventures or deer hunting adventures or duck hunting adventures or whatever it is on this little aluminum boat. So guys, remember, do something today to make somebody smile because you never know. It just might change the world. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day. And as always, we'll see you on the next video.